Greetings, all my beautiful freedom freaks.
Welcome back to Show Me State News. I'm your host, Kermit D, ready to jump into another captivating story. Today, we're taking a closer look at the recent 3-day law enforcement extravaganza in Baxter County, Arkansas, known as Operation Accountability. So, are you ready for your daily dose of freak? Let's hop in and get our freak on.
First Amendment.
Freedom isn't free, it's being held for ransom. Everybody, please rise for the national anthem.
That means that you can go by yourself down there?
Here we go.
Yeah. I don't know. You gonna say anything that's worth listening to?
All about cops. What's your name, boy? What's your name, boy?
I don't answer questions. Here's the thing. This day and age, right? We're not. You know what the First Amendment is? Just laugh. We want to hear you defending and upholding the oath to the Constitution.
Now, this operation brought together a dynamic team of law enforcement officers from various agencies, all under the expert planning and organization of the Baxter County Sheriff's Office. It was like the Avengers of law enforcement. Well, that is how they look at themselves. Their mission? To crack down on parole and probation absconders, serve arrest warrants, and nab those involved in criminal activities, while having multiple street parties, roadblocks set up. Talk about a serious party. The only thing that was missing was the pig roast. Let's break it down, folks. While some might see it as just doing their job, there's an underlying public issue at hand. You see, the primary goal of Operation Accountability was to ensure that convicted offenders comply with their parole and probation requirements. But when law enforcement agencies prioritize revenue collection, it can cause a diversion of resources and divert their attention and resources away from their primary responsibilities, such as ensuring public safety, preventing and investigating crimes, and maintaining order in the community. This can result in a lack of adequate staffing. During this operation, officers seized, let's call it what it is, the officers stole a wide array of items connected with criminal activities. We're talking about firearms, vehicles, a boat, cell phones, computers, and even a stash of cash. It seems like they hit the jackpot of crime fighting, making out like super bandits. And by prioritizing revenue generation, law enforcement agencies may be tempted to focus on low-level offenses or traffic violations that are more likely to result in fines and fees, rather than dedicating resources to tackling more serious crimes. But here's where the public issue comes into play. Some critics argue these law enforcement agencies are focusing too much on revenue collection rather than fulfilling their primary duties. It's like a modern-day Robin Hood tale, but with badges and handcuffs. And Sheriff John F. Montgomery of Baxter County is playing the part of the Sheriff of Nottingham. As it might seem, he's focusing on revenue collection, which can lead to the criminalization of poverty, where individuals who cannot afford to pay fines or fees are subjected to punitive measures such as arrest warrants or incarceration. This places an undue burden on those already struggling financially and can perpetuate cycles of involvement in the criminal justice system. Rumors have been swirling about the purchase and rental of properties, including the Mountain Home Police Department building, and a public servant allegedly selling property back to the local government. Some wonder if these financial matters are impacting the agency's ability to perform their job duties effectively. When law enforcement agencies prioritize revenue collection, it can create the perception that the justice system is more interested in financial gain than in upholding justice and ensuring public safety. This erosion of public confidence can undermine the legitimacy of the justice system, or are these policy enforcement officers just not capable of performing the job duties that you, us, we the people pay them to do? Having to call in reinforcements to their job for them, that will cost all of you, especially the residents of Baxter County, more of your hard-earned money to pay for the manpower and time of the extra officers to do what you already pay Baxter County Sheriff's Office and Mountain Home Police Department to do. And let's not forget about those traffic tickets. Each misdemeanor charge translates into revenue that goes back into the budget. And enforcing practices that prioritize revenue collection can disproportionately impact vulnerable citizens. Low-income individuals who rely on older vehicles or public transportation may be more likely to face citations for minor vehicle infractions, leading to fines and fees they cannot afford. This can further hinder their ability to access employment education, or healthcare resources. Also, individuals who cannot afford to pay fines or fees are subjected to punitive measures such as arrest warrants or incarceration. This places an undue burden on those already struggling financially and can perpetuate cycles of involvement that can keep you trapped in the criminal justice system. Plus, those roadblocks can be seen as a violation of our Fourth Amendment rights and obstructing our freedom to travel. And if they can budget to pay for the extra personnel, then you could have already fixed the traffic light at the court square that's been out of use for months, has put a burden on the citizens, and put public safety at risk. Now, I'm not saying these actions are inherently wrong, but it's crucial for us, as responsible citizens, to question and hold our law enforcement accountable for their actions. After all, they serve us. Let's keep an eye on how this revenue collection is affecting the community and whether it's truly aligned with the core mission of ensuring public safety. And remember, all my beautiful freaks, knowledge is power. Stay informed, stay engaged, and let your voices be heard. That wraps up on today's episode of Show Me State News. I hope we've shed some light on the intriguing Operation Accountability in Baxter County. Keep your curiosity alive, and we'll catch you next time on Show Me State News.